Hey folks, my name is Doug Bryant. I don't know about you, but I am tired of the news. Doesn't matter which news circuit you follow, there seems to just always be negative news. A few years ago, actually several years ago now, I used to read the news, multiple news sources, local news and different sources, and I'd always get depressed. And then I found a site that I started reading every day. It was called happynews.com. And it was just an encouragement to me. That news station is no longer up on the internet, no longer running, but I wanted to kind of, with all the things going on in our world, I wanted to do a weekly live video, or not live, but a weekly video on positive news stories that you may have missed out of the newspaper, because folks, there are some good things that are happening in our world. January 14th, an Indiana cop jumped into action to save a toddler choking on an apple at a Chick-fil-A. What makes the story interesting is it was his very first day as a paid police officer. Hobart police officer Richard Mayer was dining at the fast food restaurant in Maryville with a few of his colleagues when Melanie Hass ran to him for help. Hass told the news station that her daughter, Charlotte, had choked on a piece of apple. She says, I looked over and she started gagging. I could see something kind of in the back of her throat, and I made the mistake of reaching in, trying to grab it out of her throat, and it actually pushed it back further into her throat, she said. She said that the worried mother came running over to the officer and told him about her choking daughter, and he immediately sprang into action. The officer said, I grabbed her, and Officer Ramos to my right flipped her over, and we did back slaps on her, and the food got dislodged from her throat right away. He did add that the incident caught them all a little bit off guard. The piece of fruit was dislodged from the toddler's throat, allowing oxygen back into her body, WLS reported, and Mayer revealed that saving the toddler was his very first act as a police officer, as a paid police officer. And the mom was very grateful, and she said this is what he was meant to do, to save lives in some kind of way. Folks, that's a great story. Another great story that you might have missed. January 25th, Courtney Guevara was 4 months pregnant in February 2017 when she finally got answers for mysterious bald patches on her scalp. After visiting multiple doctors, she was diagnosed with the autoimmune skin disease alopecia. And though her next steps did have a twist, there wasn't much that the doctor could do because she was pregnant. The 31-year-old physician's assistant from Laurel, Maryland, said that she slowly watched her hair continue to fall out until she was completely bald a month later, a common reality for many after diagnosis. She said, I've never been a vain person, but at the same time I am a girl, so it's just expected of me to have hair. There was an emotional attachment to it. You don't even realize it until you lose it, she told ABC of the process. Fortunately, the love of her family and friends made all the difference, and even with her best friends, they started wearing head wraps to her baby shower in solidarity. Then on July 21st, baby Zuri was born with a full head of hair, and it changed Gervais' perspective. On the 1-year anniversary of her diagnosis, the mother and daughter celebrated with a simple yet powerful photo shoot that has since gone viral on Facebook. She said, I wish I knew how easy it would have been having a bald head while having a newborn. She said, I can literally put on my clothes and leave the house and not worry about my hair. It's hard enough leaving the house in the first place, she joked. I can totally understand. It's about the easiest thing there is to do, just get up and go. But the 1-year anniversary, this mother and daughter did a photo shoot, and let me encourage you, I found this story on Fox News, so if you dig there, you can find this. And you know, although the little Zuri probably won't remember taking the pictures, she's got these as a reminder, and to be able to applaud her mom and the strong and healthy mom that she has. And what a interesting and cool story there. I found it just it's just one of those heartwarming things, and the pictures are absolutely beautiful if you get a chance to go there. January 16th, 2018, a father's hunch in hiring a helicopter to search for his missing son probably saved the teen's life when the chopper spied the 17-year-old's wrecked car on the side of the road. Tony Lethbridge of South Wales Australia, said that he feared the worst when his son Samuel did not return home Sunday morning after a Saturday night out with friends in the nearby city of Newcastle. He reported that his son is missing to the police and then contacted a helicopter service to help him search, Sky News reported. He says, when he saw the police, they thought that he'd run away, and I said, it's not Samuel. When he doesn't show up or phone, something is seriously wrong. He told that to the Associated Press, and he added, I understand that they've got a lot to do and they hear this every day, but I took matters in my own hands, and I was thinking all night that tomorrow morning I'm just going to go get a helicopter and go looking for him because we're running out of time. It's been long enough. The search paid off. Sammy's car was spotted among the trees off the road about 12 miles from the family's home. The teenager was cut out of the wreck about 30 hours after the crash. He did suffer multiple fractures, and he remains in serious condition, but he is very lucky to be alive. Even the police will agree with this. Father relayed that he had about $797 to give to the helicopter rescue, and the helicopter normally charges about $950, but when they heard the story, they said, yeah, we'll do it, we'll help you. And they were only in the air for about 15 minutes before they spotted the wreck. And the teen's uncle was the very first to reach the car, and he said he was absolutely terrified of what he would find, but he said he didn't really want to go. He was scared what I find, and he says, as I got closer, I saw Sam's head move, and I went from being terrified to ecstatic in just a couple of seconds. Everyone there was overcome by great emotion and all pretty happy feelings there, just celebrating the boy being all right, and he is making a recovery. January 25th, just yesterday, a pooch in Northern California is being hailed as a hero after helping to rescue a man who fell into the water at a marina on Wednesday. Pittsburgh Police Department in Northern California, not Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but Pittsburgh Police Department wrote in a Facebook post that the man was out for his morning walk when he slipped and he fell into the water about 40 miles northeast of San Francisco. Mo, a golden retriever, saw the incident unfold and began to bark. When Mo's owner woke up to see what the barking was all about, he saw the man struggling in the water. The man was able to get help from the water and was extremely grateful to his new barking buddy. The department said in the Facebook post, the police visited Mo later in the day, and he said he's about as sweet as can be and clearly loves all the attention that he is receiving for his role in the rescue. They said, we are proud to say you really are a hometown hero. Folks, this goes back just a little bit, but January 12th, there was a 6-year-old boy that was among the dozens of the parishioners that were shot last fall by the gunmen down in rural Texas church. November 5th was when all that took place, and he was at the First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs when the gunmen opened fire. We know the outcome of that, but little Ryland were injured in that, and Ryland was shot 5 times. His arm was messed up where he was shot. He had some problems with his lower intestines, his bladder, and the list just really goes on. But folks, this is positive news. So January 12th, firefighter Rusty Duncan was among the first on the scene, and he spotted little Ryan there, and a little hand grabbed his pant leg, and he said, I saw his eyes looking up at me, and I knew I had to get him out of there. So that firefighter visited Ryland often in the hospital, and he promised him a ride on the fire truck once the doctors gave him the green light to head home. Folks, the day finally arrived, and Ryland was ready to get in that truck right away. He wanted to go faster, and he wanted the siren to be louder, and he wanted me to honk the horn at every single person that he saw. He was just having a blast. Observers noted how happy Ryland looked, comparing him to a kid on Christmas morning. The boy's grandmother said that the child had more than earned the ride. He deserves it, if any kind of kid does. My last bit of news for this morning, I just want to say a congratulations to my buddy Neil McCoy. Neil, congratulations. If you have not seen, Neil McCoy does a Facebook Live Pledge of Allegiance every single morning, and today he is celebrating his 750th Facebook Live Pledge of Allegiance. Neil, job well done, and keep up the great work. Folks, I hope that this was just a little bit of encouragement to you, that there is some good things that are going on in our world. Let me ask you, if you have some positive news that you've seen and you'd like me to do this, I'm going to do this every Friday. And if you have some positive news that you'd like me to share, email it to me at doug@dougbriney.com, doug@dougbriney.com. Email me those stories and I'll get them on the air next week. Folks, have a great day, and remember, God is good all the time.